What's up, guys? This is Dr. Kyle from Cape Chiropractic and Acupuncture coming at you with this week's movement tip of the week. This week we're going to talk about hip mobility and how it can help reduce low back pain. Now, a lot of time what people with low back discomfort tend to move about their lumbar spine or through their low back and not utilize their hips or maximize their hip mobility and their hip strength. So what this stretch and what this movement will do today is help teach your body and your hips how to utilize or absorb more forces and range of motion, so that way you're not constantly chewing up or using your lumbar spine. Now, this stretch has been shown, or this mobility drill has been performed by different movement systems, and each of them has their own set of differences. But there's a few things I really want you to take home today, okay? So this drill is called the 90-90 drill, and what it does is essentially attack all angles of your hip. So what I want you to do is sit nice and tall for me. And you can pick either direction to rotate, but there's a few things I want you to think about. Is primarily keeping your knees at a 90-degree angle this way, okay? And for me, I'm going to rotate to my right. So as I turn to my right this way, you should see that I have approximately a 90-degree angle here, but also I know it's a little tough with this angle, but you can see that I have about a 90-degree angle on my back leg as well. Now, once I've assumed this position here, there's a few things. We're gonna attack or stretch into both hips. I'm gonna start with my front leg, and what I want you to do is think about turning your belly button and your torso towards that front leg, okay? And adding a nice gentle forward lean towards that right or downside knee on the front side, okay? Now, as you do this, you should feel a nice stretch in the gluteal region on your back side and into that, what we call our posterior hip capsule, okay? Now, you can explore the angles to intensify or change the amount of stretch you're feeling. But what I want you to do once you find a nice maximal stretch is to push this knee down into the ground. And you should feel a little bit more intense of a stretch, okay? And you can hold that for about 8 to 10 seconds and come out of it. You may feel some increased lengthening or increased ability to move into that direction that you were stretching, okay? Now, as you come out of that, most people do a similar stretch like this one, and it's known as the pigeon stretch. But what most people avoid is this backside leg, okay? And this motion here is creating a lot of what we call hip internal rotation. And a lot of people with low back pain or pinching hips or issues with squatting and things like that usually have a lack, or sometimes have a lack, of hip internal rotation. So taking this belly button and turning it towards this backside leg is going to create a nice, intense, deep stretch in this hip joint, okay? Now, if it's painful, I don't want you to do it, okay? But this should create a nice hip stretch, nice and deep through this region, okay? And to intensify this stretch, again, you can drive this back knee down into the ground as you're turning your belly button towards this backside knee, okay? And hold that and just create a nice contraction down in that direction, okay? Then you can switch sides, okay? So you can rotate this way, and again, repeat what we just did, like so here on the opposite side. So I can lean, stretch forward this way, and then increase my internal rotation on this back leg by rotating this way, okay? Now, if you go through a few cycles of this before you go into your squatting routine, or if you just are experiencing some low back discomfort, this can be a very effective stretch and way to help reduce some of the tension in your hips and also your low back. Give it a shot, guys, and we'll see you next week.